Hi, I'm Lisa Shield. Welcome to Emotionally Naked Dating, where I will show you how to find true love with nothing to hide. Today I am going to talk to you about your career and how that factors into attracting a man when you're dating. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no man that you and I would want to date is going to be attracted to you specifically because of the career you have. In fact, many men find it a turnoff. And lots of women worry about this because they feel like their careers are intimidating to men. And in some ways that is really true. A lot of men today are intimidated by women who have careers and make more money than they do. It's just a fact. And here's the thing. You don't want a man to be attracted to you for your career. Most women today, even though they make a tremendous amount of money and they're financially successful, they don't want to be supporting a man. That's not what they want to do, and they don't want men looking to them as supporters. Well, with that in mind, as a provider, right? You don't want to be seen as the provider in your relationship. You don't want a man looking at you that way. So if that's the case, you can't think that a man is going to be attracted to you for your career. Most men today want women to have careers, and they don't want women who are going to be totally dependent on them. They love the fact that a woman is going to contribute to the financial well-being of a relationship, but they do not they're not attracted to you for how much money you make. They will respect you in the same way they respect other men who are successful, but they will not be specifically, like, that is not a selling point. And in some ways, I don't want you to dumb yourself down, and you shouldn't be ashamed of your career or afraid of the fact that you have one, but you do have to know that it is not going to be something that is necessarily attractive to the kind of man that you're looking for. So here's the thing. A man will feel inferior if he can't provide for you, if he can't contribute to making your life better somehow. And a lot of times men want to do that by being able to impress us with what they have. So that's one of the reasons why men work and, make money and become so successful. It's so that they can attract the best women. And when a woman makes a tremendous amount of money, or when she's super successful and she doesn't really need a man, then it diminishes what a man is all about. It makes a man feel a little bit less than. So you want to be really careful, because I'm sharing this all not to scare you and not to make you feel inferior and not for you to get mad and lash out at me because of what I'm saying. I'm sharing this so that you can take this into consideration and you can, diffuse some of this stuff by being a smart woman. So here's the thing. There's lots of successful women out there who are married and who have fabulous husbands and who don't provide for their husbands. There are lots of successful women who are with successful men. But these women understand how to not be intimidating or emasculating to their man. So let's look at this, right? My husband was married to a woman who became a very successful soap opera star. And this happened very quickly, almost overnight, and he was in a career transition. So for him, it was really intimidating and emasculating that she was so wildly successful in his career. And what happened was he wound up having to be in her orbit. He had to be available for her events and her things and her public appearances. And it was emasculating for him. He said he will never, ever put himself in that position again with a woman, understandably. And what he told me was that there was one event where she was receiving an award, and just to be the better man, because he was her husband, he felt that he had to send her 24 roses because he knew other people would be sending her 12 roses, and he had to stand out. And he said it wasn't even something he wanted to do, but something he felt obligated to do. And here's the thing, we talked about this, and Benjamin said, if a woman has a closet full of designer bags, she's got all kinds of designer bags in there, and a man can't really get her anything that will impress her, you may think, well, I don't need a man to do that for me. But a man is going to want to do things for you. That's why he makes money. That's why he's so successful, so that he can impress the women in his life and so that he can provide for you and take care of you. So what Benjamin said to me was, why would he want to buy a woman a Chanel bag if she's already got a closet full of designer bags? So she'll get excited. Oh, wow, another designer bag. How sweet. But it's not really precious. It's not special. Benjamin bought me a Chanel bag, and it was something I would never have bought for myself. And in fact, I was so blown away by it that for months I couldn't even use it because it was so special, and I was so afraid of getting a mark or a scratch on it. And I'd never had a gift like that in my life. And I think for him it was so wonderful to give it to me because he knew it was something I would never buy for myself. And it made him feel like a man in my eyes, and he was, right? And so there's something about being having too much and being too self-sufficient as a woman that just doesn't work with a man, because the most masculine men of all are the ones who want their masculinity mirrored back to them from the woman that they're with. And the way they do that is by impressing us, and then, seeing that smile on our faces and seeing us be impressed by what they've done, watching us light up because they're able to do all of these wonderful things for us. So what can successful women do to sort of diffuse this? Well, there's a lot of things that we can do. The first thing is learn how to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to show a man that you need him. If you're having a hard day at work, come home and say, babe, could you just cuddle with me on the sofa? I just need you to put your arms around me, right? I just want you to hold me. Or go to them and ask their advice, ask for their help. Don't pretend like you have it all together. Even if you do, there are things that men offer women in relationships that we can't get from other women or even give ourselves. There are ways, perspectives that men provide as men, right? Male perspective is very different than female perspective. So ask for his input on things. Be in touch with your femininity. When you walk in the door and your husband comes home, leave your job outside. Leave your work at the door when you come in the house. Walk in there with a, hey, babe, oh my gosh, and put on your sexy and be feminine, be the woman. And don't come home with that corporate attitude. Brush it off, leave it at the door, and come home with a feminine, put on your femininity. Stop at the door before you walk in and leave all that stuff behind. And finally, one of the most important things is be happy and passionate about the work you do. So there's nothing worse than a woman who's stressed out and miserable, and that can be a real turn off to a guy. But if you love your job, it can be a turn on. So I'm Lisa Shield. This has been Emotionally Naked Dating, Finding True Love with Nothing to Hide. I will see you on the next video.